Alright, now we're going to look at the cone, and our formula for volume of a cone was volume equals 1/3 times capital B, which means area of the base. So not just one single number here, but the area of the whole base, and then times the height of the shape. So because of this capital B, we have some work we need to do before we can actually plug into this formula. So for this capital B, I have to find the area of the base, and the base of a cone is always going to be the circle. Even though like this one, the circle's on the top, it's still technically the base of the circle. So to find the area of a circle, area equals pi r squared, and that might be a note we want to make off to the side here if you didn't write up above. Circle area equals pi r squared. So we're going to use 3.14 again for our pi. I need the radius squared. Well, I have 10, but 10 goes all the way across. So 10 is the diameter. So if 10 is all the way across my diameter, that means halfway across from here to here, halfway would be half of 10, or 5. So we want 5 squared. And then I'm going to put that in the calculator. I'm going to do the 5 squared first. Remember, 5 squared means 5 times 5, and that's going to be 25. And then times that by 3.14, and that is going to be 78.5. So then when we get down here, this whole thing here, the 78.5, the area of that circle, that is what's going to get plugged in for capital B. Because the area of the base, the area of that circle, is 78.5. Okay, also on this one, and we're going to do it here just for practice. We're not going to do it on the second sphere. I'm sorry, on the second cone. If I look closely at this shape, I'm noticing that this one says yards and this one says feet. So I can't calculate if they're in two different units. So we need to remember that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. So let's turn this 36 feet into yards. So I'm going to go from feet to yards. So I'm getting smaller. That means we're dividing. And to go from 3 to 1, I have to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 36 divided by 3 is 12 feet. I can put that in the calculator. 36 divided by 3 is 12. So instead of using 36 feet for the height, we're going to use 12 yards. I turned 36 feet into 12 yards. So now we're going to plug in 1/3 times area of the base. Area of the base we said was at 78.5 times the height. Now it was 36 feet, but we turned that into 12 yards so that this matches yards and yards. And then we're going to again think of that all as fractions so that we can calculate with our numerators and denominators. So we're going to multiply across the bottom. 3 times 1 times 1 is 3. And then across the top, we're going to do 1 times 78.5 times 12. That is going to be 942. And then the last, we're going to divide 942 divided by 3, because that's what that fraction bar means. We get 314. And this was all in yards. And volume is going to be to the 3rd power cubed. So 314 yards cubed. Let's look at another cone. Now, this one doesn't match either centimeters and millimeters, but let's, for the sake of just getting some practice in, let's just say that these are both millimeters. Okay, just so we don't have to add that extra level here. So we'll pretend they're both millimeters to save us some time on that. And then if you were to do like an actual problem, you would not be able to change that. You would have to actually do the conversions like we did up above on number 4. But for this example, we're just going to ignore that and make them both millimeters. So again, we have volume equals 1/3 times capital B times the height, so times the area of the base. So we have to go back and find the area of the base again. So the area of a circle again is pi times radius squared. So it's 3.14. And it gives us the radius. It goes from the center to the outside is 0.8. So I'm going to multiply by 0.8 squared. I'm going to put that in the calculator. I'm going to do the 0.8 squared first. So 0.8 times 0.8 first. And then I'll take that answer times 3.14. And that's going to be 2.0096. It's a little bit long, but it does end, so it makes sense just to write it all out. If you want to round, you could round also. You get a more accurate answer if you leave all the numbers in. Okay, and I'm going to come back over to my formula. 1/3. In place of the capital B, we get 2.0096 times, and then the height of that cone is from the circle straight to the tip of the cone, which is 12 at this time. Then again, I'm going to think of these as all fractions, over 1. 3 times 1 times 1, the denominator will be 3. For our numerator, we'll do 1 times 2.0096 times 12. And that's going to give us 24.1152. And I'll divide that by 3. And then we get, for a volume, 8.0384. So we could round that to 8.04. And this is in millimeters cubed. So again, we just turn these into millimeters just because we're just practicing. But you would have to do like we did in number 4, where we had to convert them to make them match.